Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you.
What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Wednesday afternoon here inside the studio. There is a massive football game this weekend between number 10, the Texas Longhorns, as they come to town to take on the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. Obviously a massive, heavily contested matchup, big-time name brand value on both sides of the football, big-time offensive matchup, it feels like. A lot of people are going to be talking about both quarterbacks in this football game. Gunnar Stockton outperforming most expectations going into the year. Arch Manning now reaching those expectations, it seems like, that we had for him going into the season. So a lot of people talking about the offenses, but what we're going to do today is we're going to scare the daylights up out of Georgia fans about this Texas defense, not as a whole, but individually. This man, Collin Simmons, I tweeted about it before we were about to record this. I think Collin Simmons is the most disruptive football player in the SEC in the box by a wide margin. Like, I don't know of a singular football player right now that is tilting the game plans as much as Collin Simmons. Mississippi State thought they could run at him. Couldn't, to no avail. 67 total yards rushing. Vandy felt like, hey, we can't run at this guy, so let's just design a game plan both in the running game where we don't block him, we just read him all game, and in the passing department where we just roll away from him wherever he's at. And he still found ways to absolutely impact the football game, turned Vandy over multiple times, almost by his damn self. Excited to do this with you guys today. Hey, got a couple of rules around here. If you want anything about the game of football today, you must subscribe. If you want anything about your favorite football team today, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. Let's shut up and let's grind the tape. On our way to 100K, Jay Will, we will be there before we know it, all right? But it will only happen if you guys stay locked in with us. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button today, and make sure you're subscribing, of course, and make sure you're tuning in to our live shows every Monday through Thursday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Always open up with who they are, what they look like, base personnel, right? All right, they're in 12 personnel is Vandy. That's a tight end. That's a tight end. How do you respond to base personnel as a defense? Well, we see it. We got 3 linebackers on the field. That's actually Phil Same, the safety that is condensed down into the box. That's the other thing to talk about with this football team. Play a lot of zone coverage, Jonathan. They even did last year when they had the Jim Thorpe Award winner out there in Jahdae Barron, okay? They're a zone football team, and most of the time, they're a single high zone football team. Not just against 12 personnel, they'll do it against 11 as well. They like to have that safety add into the box and control the run game. There he is right there in line with all these other linebackers. The other indication of zone coverage, we see a butt to the sideline. We'll eventually see a butt to the sideline, and we see what? Similar levels on that second level of defense with that one middle field closed safety. Do we all see that? Just in terms of identity, personnel, who they are, okay? Who else are they? They are an expensive roster that took a bunch of good players from other rosters. It's not just this guy and Collin Simmons. That's Hero Kanu, a former top 100 football player that they took off of Ohio State's roster, and that's an all Big Ten nose tackle that they took off of Purdue's roster, all right? They're big, they're physical, they're tough to run against in the box. Everybody knows, obviously, about Collin Simmons and Anthony Hill. Their blue chip status in that box, that front six is as good as it gets in college football. That's why they're a top 10 team in the country with regards to not only yards allowed, I believe, but rushing yards allowed. They're really, really good inside that box, all right? And that's why Vandy chose to cut them and throw the ball outside of that box, all right? Easy, obvious game plans early on in terms of what we're trying to avoid, which is these guys. I also think, they're really, really stout, man. They bought some good groceries, all right? Hero Kanu didn't play a ton at Ohio State. I think he's playing pretty daggone good football right now. He just snatched that tackle down on his face, and he's going to go make a play right here, okay? Look at the absolute neck jolting that happens right here for this left tackle. Just get your absolute crap jacked up, and then get snatched down on your face. We love to see that. just bring your hat today, okay? And understand that I think you are better off running at him for 75 yards than trying to read Collin Simmons and giving him the opportunity to tackle us for -5 every time we do it. And worst case scenario, turning you over. All right, this is the first of 3 times in the first 3 series that we're going to show you Collin Simmons getting Vandy's ass up off the field all by himself, essentially. Here he is right here, a defensive end, and really a jack, hybrid stand-up rusher. And that's the other thing you'll notice about these guys. Does this look familiar, Jonathan? A true nose, a 4-eye, a stand-up jack, and a hybrid stack bumped linebacker alignment. That's mint front defense. That's exactly what Georgia plays, okay? That's the style of defense that they play. That's what they built their base alignment off of in the box for several years now. In terms of 6'5", north of 6'6", 270, 285-pound defensive end, right? Big-time nose tackle, big-time twitchy 3-tech, big-time stand-up jack. Do we all get that? Very similar personnel to what you guys got going on, but I would not read this guy. I would never, ever, ever allow this twitchy alien of an athlete to just go unevaded and have a chance to play both, because that's what he does. He does it often. We're going to show you several read keys in this game against Vandy where they're like, oh, just don't block Collin. Let's read him. Well, he reads both. He takes the quarterback and then dives in on the pitch, or in this case, just dives in on the mesh point, sees the quarterback take the ball, and not only take the quarterback, he punches the damn ball out. Now the ball's out in our own end, and we got a major problem. We're about to lose this football game because we get steamrolled to start it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Whether it was Kobe Black or whether it was the true freshman number 24, y'all got a corner problem. Y'all got a corner problem, and y'all have a safety problem that's going to get fixed with Michael Taft coming back, and we'll show you several of that. But y'all know this, Texas fans. Y'all were the first one to put me on it in our mentions of like, hey, how did this game get blown back open in the second half? How did y'all even get close? Well, that's how. We got corners getting ran right by. Immediately, he runs through our outside shoulder out there at corner immediately. The ball's way late. Don't know why it's so late, but it is, and it doesn't get completed. And we get escaped, right? We escape this one. If you're a zone football team, Jonathan, you have principles, right? You have certain things that you do consistently, and there are certain things that we can do to compromise those principles, right? This covered 3 corner is going to sit off with his butt to the sideline, right? Sideline's over here. His butt's going to be to the sideline. If you're the wide receiver and you run an inward breaking route, we can't just let you run to grass. What do we have to do? We have to condense with our butt still to the sideline, right? So as we condense and you flare the back, what do I have to now do? I have to now open my hips and now pursue this football out to the sideline in an angle in which I am not, in the most optimal position, right? So this is what we call a principal breaker right here on this cover 3 corner. We got a tight end attached. All right, we're going to condense the number 1 wide receiver, flare the back, and now we have nobody outside the numbers at the top of the screen. Do we all see that? Now here's where we compound the problem at Texas. I don't know if they're a great tackling team on the 2nd and 3rd levels. I know Anthony Hill is, but I don't know if 26 is a great tackle. I don't know if 8's a great tackler or 6 is a great tackler. I don't know if some of these linebackers, 26 is a great tackler. I don't know if some of these safeties and corners are great tacklers. I think some of your individual talents and your Mikes and your Wills and your linemen are great football players, but I don't know how well y'all tackle out in space right about now. 26 is a great athlete. This young linebacker is a true sophomore, but yeah, he's still a little light in the pants and still, trips up every once in a while. We got 2 guys bumping into each other, and now we can't go make a play. Give up a first down on 2nd and 15. We can't be doing that, Jonathan. Can't be doing that. The other thing, look, man, I like this nose tackle. I'm sure he played great Big Ten football. I'm sure he played awesome Big Ten football. But the last 2 tapes I have watched, the only portion of success of running the football has come from, we can knock 99 around just a little bit, like this clip right here, okay? And it's just getting into his hips. That's all, just getting into his hips and bumping him off of his spot and moving him a good bit. This is an 8-yard or a 7-yard run off the idea of, hey, we can move 99. We can get into his hip from the left or from the right guard right there. We can knock him off his spot. I don't know if he's necessarily anticipating and anchoring these double teams quite fast enough right about now. And we can kind of get a crease created right there off of 99 being movable, right? Being hippable, if you will. I don't even think he's movable. You're not going to get him in a solo block and move him off his spot. But we can get a duo right here, right? Or we can get a combination block and we can get into his hip and we can bump him off the spot. I think that's what I've seen week over week from this guy. I mean, look, we got moved a gap and a half right there, just getting bumped off of our hip. And that ultimately creates creases in the run game. You know what? That looks a whole hell of a lot better, in my opinion, than trying to run stretch or pin and pull at Collin Simmons. You're not going to pin down Collin Simmons. You're not. If he's lined up outside and you think you can take a tight end and pin down with him, it ain't happening. He's going to make that guy miss. We're going to show you here in a second. I'd rather run at these guys right about now than try to trick them, run around them, read them, do whatever. Run at them right now. See, this is a prime example. Look, we got good leverage on Collin Simmons right now. We're going to try to pin and pull this football team, and watch what number one does right here. Okay? Jumps inside, swipes, gets in front of the damn guard's face, okay, that's trying to get back outside. We're trying to down block him. Nobody really gives him eyes, and y'all are going to leave him to a pulling guard to try to help pick up? Guess what we're going to draw right here? We're going to draw a hold on second down. All right, on third down. It's 3rd and 1. So now guess what we got going on, Jonathan? We got a 3rd and 11 coming up on the next down, okay? And 3rd and 11 is an optimal pass rushing down for Collin Simmons. And now he's going to get the team off the field after having removed them from 2-down territory, okay? Because even if we tackle them short on 3rd and 1 right there, they're going for it on 4th and 1 because that's what Vandy does. But now we get an opportunity on 3rd and 11 because we forced a holding call. We got an opportunity to dial up a pass rush out there over the left tackle. We're going to whoop his ass, all right, because that's what we do. We're a great pass rusher. Flush the pocket, ball thrown away, punt the football, okay? Again, though, I do think these zone football teams, if you're a predominantly zone team, like if we don't ever really throw any mixed coverages, if we just kind of line up, play cover 3, or if we kind of line up and have tendencies to play zone versus certain things, there are things that we can do to compromise these principles. They are going to get a hard bail from everybody right here. We're going to have a big dead area check down over here to the top of the screen. It's going to be a 12-yard chunk after we end up catching the football and running, okay? All that is checking the ball down into a dead area of the defense in that zone coverage and then running after the catch. That sounds like a pretty good recipe for a team who leads the nation in yards after catch. We agree? Okay. Same thing here on this next play. They pick up a 1st and 10. They get into the same set. They flip it, right? They had trips back to the field, tight end to the field. We got 4 threats to the field with the ball in the left hash. Just like on the previous play, we had the ball in the right hash and 4 threats to the field. We're just flipping the formation, and guess what we're going to do? We're going to attack a zone principle again right here, right? We're going to end up taking one of these wide receivers and buttoning them up into this middle, right? We got a cover 3 shell, right? We got 3 deep, which means we got people in the flat. Where's the vulnerability, Jonathan? In the behind the flat area, underneath the hook curl defenders, and in between the second and third layers of this defense, correct? We're going to hook up in the second and third, in between the second and third levels of this defense, and then boom, run after the catch again. And now after 2 plays that are just predicated off of attacking the principles of the defense, all right, the zone coverages, we picked up 40 yards worth of a chunk. See what I'm saying? Now, but they're Texas. So they got great players. They don't care if you go 12 plays on us. There are some principles that dead area checkdowns, right? Georgia's the same way. We're going to make you walk it 12 plays. Eventually, Collin Simmons is going to get you off the field. Eventually, one of our blue chippers is going to get you off the field, put you in a negative situation, and that's exactly what they've done, okay? I want to go to play 15 because this is a true freshman corner down here, and you can tell that they are true freshmen, all right? You can tell that they are, replacing Michael Taft in some of these football games because we are getting blown by, all right? And this is an inexcusable miss in my opinion because guess what? We got a clean pocket, about as clean as we'll get all day. I think we should be throwing this football. We did enough to take the eyes of this safety over here. We already got him in a speed turn. He's compromised right now. He's restarting his motion. We are so beat defensively right now. All right, we're not only beat back there, we're beat underneath. For some reason, Diego Pavia throws to the one spot where we're not compromised. And do you know why? In my opinion, I think this is why we can overcoach these things sometimes, because we've got a weapon right here. We're hiding him in the backfield. That's their replacement for Michael Taft. We probably told Diego all week, ooh, man, this out and up on that backup safety who's got bad eye discipline, buddy, that thing's going to be wide ass open. Well, when we do that, we don't work our full pure progression. And when we don't work our pure progression, it doesn't show up like it did on Tuesday when we scripted it. Can't coach robots, man. We got to coach football players. We were beat so many times there, but the quarterback gave us away. All right? Quarterback gave us away. Too twitchy to be read. Can't be doing this, man. Can't be doing this. And then I'm going to show you the next clip of why I just don't know. I think we got to find answers and wins elsewhere, because too twitchy to be read, right? He takes the jet sweep away by expanding. All right, when we take it from the tight right here, you're going to really, really see what I'm talking about. He takes away this jet sweep by alignment. He's so far away from the ball carrier when the ball is kept. I mean, look, we're what, 5 yards? We're 5 or 6 yards. This is a 2-yard gain, guys. This football player is going to close all that ground before the running back even gets to positive yardage, really. We're going to get the 2 yards off of yards after contact to an extent. See what I mean about movement here? I think we get good movement on 99. The problem is we can't get movement anywhere else, all right? And we're reading their best football player who's twitchy as hell. And then you try to run at him. But this really, to me, this really isn't running at him. This is trying to pull a guard and kick him out and all that good stuff, and he just makes you miss. You know, we got a whole lot going on right here offensively. We got a free hitter that shows up off the backside. Hell, he ain't even a free hitter. He's lined up. We don't even block this guy. We go straight down blocks here, pin and pull, or try to pull a front side guard that absolutely whiffs on Collin Simmons. There's a whole lot wrong here. All right, but I want y'all to notice this. That's a 50 front, right, Jonathan? That's number 11, Collin Simmons, and that's number 0, Anthony Hill. All right, you're going to have to deal with this look. This look is pretty scary, all right? Those are great football players, really, really close to the football, and in this case, completely unblocked. I don't think that's a good recipe for success, eh, Jonathan? But this is what I'm saying about them. I think their box play is so really, really, really good. All the, Texas defense isn't what we think they're supposed to be. It's all in the back end. It's all in the back end, because that defense up front just got them into a 3rd and 7, and all it's going to take is a one-on-one opportunity here against a freshman corner, because they're banged up, I would imagine. Is that why they're playing freshman corners? I don't know enough about their injury report history right about now, but it's just a 3-step slant. And we're not getting home there, you know. There's no great rushers getting home on a 3-step slant. There's just no way. You got to get your hands up, which is what I think they try to do right here. You see? Try to get our hands up, but we're not getting home. I mean, we beat these suckers clean out here. Ain't no better way for us to beat a tackle. You know what I mean? We're just getting the ball out because it's 3-step slant. But if you just keep them in front of them, you know, keep them in front. Eventually, you'll earn the right to get in one of these, and you know what's going to happen right here. Number one, going to get you the hell up off the field. Now, this isn't a sack. This doesn't go down as a sack, but this is 100% all because of number one, pushing the quarterback off of the spot, okay? Let's go all the way through the pre-snap rigmarole. All right, number one just completely bull rushes the left tackle here. It's a very interesting thing about this 6'2", he got to be 235 pounds. I don't think he's 240. Will you look up his roster status, Collin Simmons? He's extremely powerful, right? He reminds me a lot of Nolan Smith with an elite pass rushing bag. He's like the Nolan Smith combined with the Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick was stat twitchy guy, And then Nolan Smith is our sack twitchy guy. Nolan Smith is, how in the hell does that guy play the run like that? I think Collin Simmons is both.
6'3", 240.
He is listed at 240. Okay. Either way, he pushes him off the spot right there and creates that sack. All right, hey. So this is Meg coverage over here. Not getting a lot of safety help, right? We see that safety in the middle of the field. They're probably going to play some type of zone coverage over these three guys and add the fourth. That means you kind of on your own back here. Actually, they might be rotating into three. Let me see. They are. They're kind of rotating into a three, but he's square over here. That's what's freaking me out. All right, but anyways, all I'm trying to point out is this corner over here having to tackle on Saturday, because you know who this is going to be on Saturday, right? This is going to be Zachariah Branch. We saw them plant this seed last week against Mississippi State. 3-by-1, come back to Zachariah Branch. Bang, 9 yards. This week, I need that ball to be put on his outside shoulder. Zach, I need you to pluck it, and I need you to go make plays after the catch. I don't need this to be we caught it in our belly, and we're going to fall down for 9 yards. That's great, but I think, I think they're a poor tackling football team back here. I just told you this. I think our explosives are going to come from this type of stuff. That's 15 yards on an 8-yard reception. Sometimes we watch these things to find answers that may not have been exposed, right? Like we showed that wide receiver getting behind that corner in that cover 3 angle look earlier, right? Same thing here. And I know this set exists for Georgia because they've lived in this the last several years. That's nub, right? We got an attached tight end over there. We're in trips over here. They're in base personnel or 4-2-5 personnel, despite the fact that that's tight end, that's Stovers, and another attached tight end over here. But that's not what I want to talk to you guys about. What I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that this deep over is absolutely 100% running to grass. Now, it's prepared for. It is 100% prepared for. This linebacker on the backside is doing a really, really good job, but he gets picked, and I'll show you why. Boom. Such a great job using the zebra right here, Jonathan. Great job using the zebra. This should be an explosive for the quarterback right now. Now, he's getting flushed off his spot back there. It's a pretty dirty pocket, but I see yardage left on tape. That's all I'm looking for. When I'm scouting opponents, as an offensive coordinator, all I'm looking for is yards on tape. Assuming that if we do get, and here's how I would look at this, and here's how I would change this. First and foremost, our deep over ain't going to come from a tight end, is it, Jonathan? We're going to put Zachariah Branch right there, or we're going to put somebody like Noah. We're going to put a weapon right there. That is their weapon. That's Stovers. That's their best weapon. So they're doing a great job there. I'm not demeaning Vandy, but we're going to flip-flop this. We're going to put the tight end here and Zachariah Branch here. We're going to get to that deep over a whole hell of a lot quicker, right? I'm probably going to put the back on the left and have him add into a protection unit right here with Collin Simmons and give him a chip, maybe give us a little bit more time to protect here. You see what I'm doing? That's how I would go about advanced scouting. When I'm watching film, hey, they look exposed here, but they didn't get it, beat because Vandy had this problem. Well, how do we rectify that problem and make it better? You see what I'm saying? That's how you advance scout. Also, hey, Stovers, there's no need for that stick, buddy. There's no need for that stick. I know you're trying to make sure that you don't get collisioned or collided with, but we broke our own stride. I think we're a little bit slow into the window. All right, this is the other thing you have to do, okay? You can't come into these situations and think that everything that they got, you're going to get, right? Everything that they got that you're going to get. Like this, for example, this tight end out here in the flat. All right, this tight end out here in the flat against this or in this trips look. All we're doing is we're going to clear off right here. We're attacking the leverage of this safety. We're going to make him run through all this trash at an angle and go make a tackle in the flat. Now, Jonathan, this number 2, I don't know his name, but I know who he's replacing. You know who he's replacing, and I think Michael Taft makes that tackle. All right, so that when we look at a stat sheet and it says 340 yards passing, whatever the hell it was for Diego Pavia, some of this stuff's going to get cleaned up. There's 20 yards right there. I'm not saying it's an incompletion or we're going to force an incompletion because Michael Taft's in there, but we're not having 20 yards after the catch because 16 missed a tackle because I don't know when was the last time 16 missed a tackle. I just don't understand why it's like they conceded that they couldn't block him both in the pass protection and in the run game. So they just let him wreck shit. They just let him run around free. They didn't block him. He's covering both and making plays. Now, we make a play here because we're not getting any movement guard to guard or tackle to tackle, right? We have a defensive end out here, a Jack, making a play on the ball carrier in C gap after being read. That's a problem. This is why. They ain't moved them down linemen a damn inch, did they, Jonathan? Not a damn inch, which means as the ball carrier presses the line of scrimmage, you might see these two bubbles, but guess what I see? I see two linebackers that haven't been touched and won't be touched, hanging out free floating. We've got to move these down linemen. Have to. Now, I think you're a little bit better at this than Vandy. I think Vandy is predicated off of eye discipline and reads and all that good stuff and flipping strong. I mean, if you got to flip guards and tackles to get optimal advantages off of movement and speed, you're probably not a down-to-down move you against your will football team, are you? I think Georgia kind of is. I think something's got to break here. Something's got to break. By the way, what I haven't shown you, because I don't do this very often, I don't do, oh, that's bullshit, that's a hold, look at this. But at this point in the film study, I'm 30 plays in, and I think I'd mark down Vandy getting away with 5 holds, like big-time holds like this right here. I think we choke slam old Ethan over here. You know what I mean? Like, that's about as bad as it gets right there, and we get away with it. If we're spinning 6'5", 280-pound defensive ends around, we probably got a good grab of that jers. I love how, now I don't know if this is a premeditated spin move, but when he spins, the pocket squeezes. He has so many teammates helping him out with containment on the quarterback. Look at that, boom. They immediately rush back out and have contained on the cue. That's such a good job in the design and scheme of the rush. Great job by Hero Canoe rushing out. Also love, somebody's teaching this. When we pursue to put our hand in the eyes of the cue, have you seen this a lot? I've noticed this a lot lately. Torian York started doing this, and I think I'm going to teach it. Like, if I'm ever coaching D lineman, like, you're never catching, buddy. You're not going to chase him. So let's make this window really, really cloudy with our hand, right? Let's make this window really cloudy with our hand as much as we can. Hell, Hero, you might catch him. Another play that I think Taft makes, and I think it's fair to assume, right? They got a tight end out here. They're playing man-to-man coverage. They're going to squeeze the alignment. Come on. Yeah, they're going to squeeze the alignment out here and get a stacked release. You know what we're doing. We're attacking the man-to-man principles right here. I think Taft has a chance to make this play. Agree or disagree? You give me a slight head nod. I think you're with me. I think this look scares me the most about what they've kind of revamped their defense with. There's Collin Simmons again. There's Anthony Hill again. And they fit in a hunt. Right? I mean, Collin pushes him off the spot initially with that speed to bull rush. Tackle puts him down on his face with a little overhead snatch, and then Anthony Hill pursues it down.
Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.
All right. I don't even want to talk about that one. We're good there. Now, I do want to talk about this. That's why I said he's Hassan Reddick mixed with Nolan Smith. Will you look up Nolan's stats this year? I don't watch NFL football. Is he getting after the Q? Nolan never really had an elite pass rushing bag. His hands weren't great, had good bend, but never really had an ability to kind of stack pass rush moves. But my God, was he a warrior and is a warrior in the run game. I mean, he takes people's souls in the run game. I feel that way about Collin, but Collin's got a daggum bag. What do we got on Nolan? Is he getting after it?
Just 4 games this year because he was injured, but
Correct.
1 sack.
So not really. All right. I don't know if Nolan's ever going to be a 12-sack guy. I think this kid could be a 18-sack guy, 20-sack guy. He could be something insane because he's got such a high motor. He's so physically strong and stout, but it's the bag, man. It's what he can absolutely do. Look at this false hands he throws that makes this offensive tackle throw his hand. And now guess what? I bet you we get that sucker off of us really, really quickly. We do, and we've digged the rip. Now we're halfway through our rush. We've already got to the launch point, right? And now we're bending the hoop just like we work in drills every single day. And I guarantee you, had it not been for yet another hold that Vandy's getting away with, we're probably bending this hoop and getting home. Would you agree or disagree there, Jonathan? I mean, our body path, and especially if you watch it full speed, our path completely gets yanked down by what is a very obvious hold right there, okay? But it's that false hand, that initial jab that he throws, brings back, and then sinks a rip right there, all while, did you notice, avoiding the chip. Did you see the back there? Where's he at? The back here attempted a chip, didn't he? Trying to get him out. You can really see it from the wide. From the wide, he has this natural athletic ability to kind of slow his rush down to make sure he avoids this chip from this back. Look at this. Good football player, man. Young corner, man. Really, really young corner. It's 3rd and 10, dude. 3rd and 10, ball in their own 35. Don't be out here trying to stab and jab on a down like this. You know why he's doing this, Jonathan? Because he's in Meg coverage, man everywhere he goes, against the tight end. He feels like he needs to reestablish the line of scrimmage right here because he got a big body guy in front of me. This indicates young, like we're really, really young. I didn't even have to look at the roster to know this. Just like if he's on the field, I don't know if he is, I don't have to look at the roster to know that that's a true freshman. I could see it in his ankles and his ass. He's not big enough, all right? Pun intended, his name's Little John. He's going to be a great football player. But we randomly looked up in the middle of the season, and Texas has got 3 or 4 young guys playing in the back end. So the whole theme of the show so far has been, what in the hell do you do with Collin Simmons? What in the hell do you do with Collin Simmons? You're so focused on him. Right tackle's just absolutely dialed into what he might be getting, and then all of a sudden he drops. All right, they're doing a good job of this as well. Another player that they took from somebody else. Great teams are doing it right now. That's the Spence kid, I think, that they took from Arkansas's roster from a year ago. And what they're doing right now is they know, right? They know this speed rush right here is ultimately going to force this tackle to come out here towards Collin Simmons. They're going to drop him, meaning they can keep 7 guys in pass coverage, and now they're going to rush 4, and they're going to get all 4 of these guys with one-on-ones against their man, okay? Boom. Now we got 4 one-on-one matchups. Guess what? Extremely close to the quarterback, right? These aren't guys rushing from depth. These are guys right inside guard to tackle getting after the Q and getting after the Q really, really quickly. And forcing a hold. Thoughts? Scary. Scary for both, right? Scary if you're a Georgia football fan watching that. You're like, good God, that box. And then if you're a Texas fan looking at that, you're like, ooh, uh-oh. We got bad eye discipline, and we can't really cover and tackle in the back end going against a unit like this from Georgia. I went into this thinking we had a defensive rock fight. I think we're going to have some offense open up in this football game from both sides. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Love you. Bye.